Free State province, gearing up for an Energy Indaba, which is coming on the 2nd of November. The province aiming to generate and distribute energy amid the country's power crisis, and that's where we find Newzroom Africa's Nqobile Madlala, who is in the Free State province. Nqobile, good morning to you. Quite ambitious of this province to not only overcome the country's situation of energy poverty, but to a point where they are confident they will even be able to distribute that power. Where will it come from?
Well, according to them, what's going to happen is that you will see the province working together with the private sector to try and fight those power crises that the country is facing. But of course, all of this will come out when the Energy Indaba does take place and those delegates do make their way to the province. But in the meantime, I want to bring in the Premier to speak to us about this. And I mean, a great ambition there for the province to want to be part of generating and distributing power. But how exactly are you going to explain this to the Energy Indaba experts that are going to be here? How do you have the infrastructure?
Yes, we actually are blessed as a province. We have, the distribution also lines. We have them, but the most important thing is the resources that we have. We have the sun, and the sun rays in the country are actually a second after what we have in the Northern Cape, and we have enough water. We've got the largest dam in Harib Dam, and we have gas, and we think, and we're talking about the energy mix, and we've got shallow and deep coal, and we believe that the discussion around the energy mix in the country should be a discussion that is taken not with the intention of moving away from coal, but of also including the reality that we have coal in abundance, and we've got the technical know-how, I believe, in terms of research that we can bring about clean coal. So the discussion should be really about using coal in a clean way, and using solar, because I believe that the solar energy, the renewable energies, will not actually put up be your base load. You need coal, clean coal, you need gas, you need hydrogen.
So how are you going to bring in the private sector to assist you in achieving this goal?
We're working with PetroSA, with Central Energy. We believe that these are tasked to really look into all these issues. And as a province, we believe that, as we have demonstrated, we have already attracted an investment or investors to put up their resources in putting up the solar plants in the Harib to generate 600 megawatts. And we have the other one in the goldfields in the Machabeng area that also is going to put about 600 megawatts. And we are now engaging with the same company to put up about 400 megawatts using hydrogen. And we're looking at the generation of 400 megawatts from hydropower from the dam that we have. And this is what we're looking at.
And I mean, it was Frankfurt in this province where there was an issue with regards to solar power between Frankfurt and Eskom. How are you going to make sure that there are no issues between you and Eskom, that when you generate this power, it will be done accordingly?
There are processes that that we need to follow. You can't just come in and put up a plant and expect Eskom to run after you. You need to have an application for the PPPs, and they will have that once they agree to take your energy and use it in the grid, then you are free to go, and that's what people should know. You just don't put up as they did in that area. You put up and you expect Eskom now to follow. It doesn't happen that way.
And lastly, the issue of corruption in this country. How are you going to make sure that those you work with don't engage in that?
I think this is some discussion that we need to have, because this is actually a reflection of a society that we live in. People think that we speak about corruption, we're thinking about government only. We're living in a society that needs to look into its values and the kind of society that we live in, where you would have an ordinary person who would actually, instead of getting the license, the driver's license in a way, would rather pay for that. And that's something that we need. I'm just saying, it's not going to be government talking about dealing with corruption only. It's about dealing with it as a societal problem in South Africa that we need to do. Because in every aspect of life, you find that there is this corruption. So we need really to have a discussion. In this case, we want to make sure that as government, we limit any potential of corrupt activity happening in everything that we do. And that's why I'm saying we need to start somewhere, in our schools, in our churches, everywhere, have that engagement.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. That is the Premier Xoli. He says that there is the infrastructure and there's, of course, a lot that they are working on. You're hearing their hydropower, solar power, as well as a lot of work that they have to do on the ground. He's saying that he is going to be expecting those delegates and that conversation is going to be ongoing with regards to the private sector working together with government.
Nqobile Madlala, live there in the Free State Province in conversation with the Premier Mxolisi Dukwana. All right.